You've probably seen high level traders or heard about them and thought, man, how is it that they're so calm? It almost seems like they're robotic. It's like nothing gets to them. They're so stoic. But no, it's so much deeper than that. And let me explain. Do you think that they just don't feel the same pains as you? The same frustrations or regrets or urges? No, of course they do. They've just learned over time and experience to process it faster than you ever have. Every meaningful loss in trading is like a trigger to the same emotional cycle. And your ability to move through that without getting stuck determines whether or not you're going to grow, plateau, or, as we know, fail. By the end of this video, you should know how to exactly identify where you tend to get trapped and ultimately realize what that's costing you. And by the way, I'm James. I've been trading for over 13 years in a variety of assets, and having this revelation about this concept saved me countless more years and I don't know how much money. So I'm hoping through this it helps you just the same. So what exactly is it that they're processing faster than you? Well, it's the 5 stages of grief. Maybe you've heard about that when you were in high school sometime and you were in the counselor's office and they were consoling you over your girlfriend issues. But this cycle, it'll show up not only in trading, but in all sorts of points in your life. Let's walk through it. It's denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then finally, acceptance. Those are the steps that we need to work through once it triggers all the way through to completion. No one is emotionless. Nobody is a robot. We are humans. Some just move through these buckets faster than others. And by the way, each person spends different amounts of time within each of those 5 buckets. So if you think about it, if there's somebody who can speed run through the 5 stages of grief, is intellectually above average, has taken risk for a long time, and has a specific edge in the markets, I mean, talk about an advantage. All right, so let's start with denial. And this one is kind of subtle. You're in a trade and it moves against you, maybe not even violently, but just enough to make you start to get uncomfortable. And instead of reassessing, you're ignoring new information, you start internally defending your idea. Maybe you just move that stop a little bit, or maybe you change the initial time horizon that you had thought about. You stop seeing what is happening, and you just start seeing what you want to happen. That's denial, and that starts to create stubbornness. It starts clouding your reality and just straight tosses your process off to the side. So let's talk through a tangible example. Maybe on a trade you decided to risk X. Price gets to your stop level, and instead of exiting the trade, you decide to, I'm just going to give it a little bit more room. You might start saying things like, the structure isn't fully broken yet. Or like, it looks like buyers are starting to step in. And then you end up losing anyway, and you lose much more than you had planned on. And it is not because the market took it from you, it is because you took it from yourself. And you just couldn't accept being wrong fast. That's denial. And hey, that's just the start. And now pay attention, by the way, all of these chain together and it starts to become easy to see. Because what comes next after that? Well, that's stage 2. It's anger. And this one obviously is very dangerous. It's that trigger of the stop that takes you out of that trade. Or it's the reversal of the market right after you get taken out. It's that trade that you held on just too long. It's that set of actions that just you lose one after another. And boom, just something spikes within you. You're not yourself anymore. You're all of a sudden just reactive. And if we're putting it bluntly, you're just mad. And what's funny is from an outsider's view, from a fly on the wall, it probably looks like you're just chilling at your computer. But oh man, if they could feel the internal wrath that's going on inside of you. So what happens? Maybe you casually just start sizing up a little bit. You jump back into a trade just as fast as you had gotten taken out. You just straight abandon all the rules that you have spent weeks and months planning out for yourself. You're now trading emotionally across various positions or a bigger one now. And you're playing from behind. You're on your heels, all while being in a terrible headspace. And of course, this won't stop in the moment. This is going to bleed into future decisions. Maybe it's just into the end of the day or the next session, but it could be a week, a month, longer, who knows? The top traders, they still feel anger. They have triggers just like the rest of us. But what they can do is they can feel it and see it and clear it out like a special ops team going through and clearing a building for threats. They're methodical, they're controlled, and they're trying to be detached from their ego. They're not letting it run command control up there. They're pausing, cutting the head off the monster, and then moving on. But what about you? What is it that you feel when that surge of emotion comes on? Does it make you act? Or is your initial reaction to pause and evaluate? It's something to think about. So once you find yourself in those deep waters from stages 1 and 2, you start to approach stage 3, which is bargaining. And by the way, man, have I spent too much time and energy in this stage right here. Think about a few of these sayings. Oh, please just get back to my entry price. It's definitely got to bounce around here. Or I'll cut my position if it comes back, I swear. Or maybe I'll add a little bit to this position because it's actually going to make my entry price look a little bit better, and I'm still confident it's a good trade. If you notice, at no point in any of those are you operating from a process that you set. It's all purely hope and a bunch of cope. And you are negotiating with the market, an entity that doesn't care about you. You're justifying your entries, you're adding to your losses, and you might be making other unrelated trades just to make up for that situation. We are all so good at making up and telling ourselves stories. At least I know I am. And this is where that self-deception, it lives and breathes. The professionals, they just don't lie to themselves. And they know that lying version of their personality. So if you notice yourself bargaining, you have already breached protocol. Now it's all about damage control, and it's not about optimization. So now we have waddled into the darkest of all the stages, stage 4, and that's depression. Here is where you're getting really into your feels. You feel so small. You wonder are you actually really cut out for this? You're an imposter, right? That's what you feel. You just can't stop replaying the mistakes you're making over and over. Any last drip of confidence or self-belief you might have starts to be washed away. It's a heavy thing. It's okay. Sometimes this could only last minutes, right? In between a couple of decisions. But in other cases, this could go on for months. And again, I want to hammer home this point. The difference between somebody who survives in the trading business and somebody who quits is not avoiding the stage of depression. It's simply just the ones who don't build and construct their identity around it. The best traders, again, are going to rely on their experience here. They can check their ego and they can zoom way out. They understand variance that comes with this game. They know that it's actually supposed to happen. They have been here before, they're in it now, and they're going to be there again. So they can shrink their size, they'll hit the reset button, and they'll start to rebuild. And they're proving to themselves over and over and over that they belong. They aren't pretending that they feel nothing. They just refuse to let those feelings define who they are. Well, okay, we have worked through denial, anger, bargaining, depression, all in order to reach acceptance, the final stage. And what we need to do is get you here as soon as possible. And it's not because it shakes off a loss completely, but it starts to help clear off that residue from the past. This is where you can tell yourself, that was the trade, that was the mistake, that was the outcome. Now, what's next? There's no more self-punishment, right? There's no more denial. There's no more revenge and no more need to hope. It's just clarity. Maybe this leads you to sizing down. Maybe you end up stopping for the day or for the whole week. Or maybe you do continue, but now from a more neutral state. Acceptance really just closes this entire loop. So your job from now on, when dealing with loss or a bunch of losers or a series of losses, is to close this entire loop as fast as you can. Oh, and hey, once you do, there's going to be another one. You're constantly going to be going through these stages. Could be every day, multiple times, could be every week, could be every quarter. And some of you are going to have more of a natural ability to move through this. Maybe you could do it in just a couple minutes, similar to that of the people who are very experienced and very successful. And others, it's going to take you longer, and that's okay. So just remember, these guys, they might seem like robots. They might say be a robot. They seem as if they don't care or don't actually experience any of these emotions. But come on now, that just sounds silly when you say it out loud. So for the ones who you hear say, hey, just take the emotions out of it. Well, right away, that to me, that's a red flag, and it makes me a little bit skeptical, to say the least. Maybe what's going on is they're actually trying to say the same thing in just a bit of a different way. Maybe they do just want you to actually be a bit more process-oriented. They want to kind of contain and dull the emotional blows via a strategy or some sort of course. Now, let's be honest, when thinking about this loop, some traders they'll never close it, and they're going to fail and kind of give up on the industry before they're ever able to even go through this entire process. Anyways, so your job is not to eliminate these stages. Notice them, shorten them, and try to move through them. Why? Because every extra moment you spend in these stages is costing you time, money, momentum, confidence, all of the above. So if you want something practical that you can apply right now, here you go. The next time one of your trades goes wrong, try and stop yourself immediately and start asking these questions. Where am I thinking right now? Am I defending this position? Am I overly reactive and heated? Am I really hoping for something to happen right now? Am I spiraling deep down into my emotions? Or have I truly accepted what just happened? That awareness alone can cut your recovery time in half. Look, this can often be the final end boss for many traders. It's like the final demon that's just been living there on your shoulder. It's not entries or indicators or general market knowledge. It's really how you're able to metabolize emotions, not letting it actually distort the next decision you make. Talent does matter. Intelligence does matter. Market intuition, sure, does play a role. But emotional efficiency might matter just as much, or maybe even more, because trading is not about never feeling things. It's about moving through it faster than the person you were before. That way you can stay in the game long enough and let your edge compound. Okay? All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. This is not financial advice, just for entertainment purposes only. If you want to talk more about this stuff, the Discord is still wide open. It's free. The link is in the description below. And I hope you guys are doing well out there. Markets are crazy, but I do believe in the next 2, 3, 4 years, trading is going to be one of the most important and valuable skills you can learn. Don't be afraid to keep it small until you prove yourself that you're a winner. And then ultimately you can scale from there and change your life. Okay. All right. See you next time.